A very good evening. Thank you for watching UBC Television. With me, Wadulo Mark Arnold. This is your UBC News Tonight with Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. It's going to be a 30 minutes, so do sit tight and let's take a look at the headlines and then get into the bulletin. In our top stories tonight, government urged to provide adequate internet access in hospitals. Kisumu County Committee inspects Mulago Cancer Institute. And Makerere University marks Julius Nyerere Day. All these in our news tonight. Once again, thank you for joining us. We'll now give you the news in detail. The Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Nabanja Robina, has appealed to health workers in the country to strive and promote preventive health care other than curative. The Prime Minister made these remarks today while presiding over the first graduation of St. Ambrose Institute for Health Sciences in Kagadi District, where over 200 graduates were awarded certificates in nursing and midwifery.
The Premier says that the government of Uganda has invested heavily in the health sector, both in training health workers and upgrading health facilities and equipping them. Nabanja says that government is moving from mere disease treatment to health education to encourage the people adapt to preventive health care.
This situation, we are moving away as a country or as government from predominantly disease-oriented care system to a health promotion one in line with the Ministry of Health Strategic Plan of 2020-2025.
Nabanja appealed to health workers to love their country by being patriotic and avoid alcoholism if they are to serve the country well.
For the country and the surrounding environment, I mean the people and their property and the love for yourself. Drinking and becoming an alcoholic. If somebody becomes alcoholic, does that mean he loves himself? And so I want you to desist from such. Then we have the
Nashimela Tina Nakalanzi, who represented the Commissioner, Ministry of Education and Sports, lauded private sector players for complementing government efforts in service delivery.
I thank the founders of this training institution for this noble dream and the effort taken to implement all the standards and maintain all the required standards to this level.
Monsignor Joseph Birungi, the proprietor of the St. Ambrose Institute of Health Sciences, asked government to support the private sector who are contributing to the development of health care services.
Of students is growing steadily, as you have heard. We need a lot of food to feed the students. We have a lot of land outside the school premises. We already approached you, Honorable Prime Minister, to get a tractor to help us to do extensive agriculture.
The Premier assured the congregation that government will address all the issues raised by management and promised to deliver the tractor next month of November 2023.
Direct use the powers entrusted in me by His Excellency the President to direct the district local government of Kagadi to maintain this access road to the institute.
The graduation ceremony began with Holy Mass celebrated by Monsignor Peter Kaberenge, who asked the graduates to be curious and aim to learn more to be relevant in the world of work.
Graduates, be always curious. Continue learning so that you can remain relevant.
St. Ambrose Institute of Health Sciences was started by Monsignor Reverend Father Joseph Birungi with the purpose of helping students acquire the much-needed health training to contribute to the development of the country. The Prime Minister officially commissioned St. Ambrose Institute of Health Sciences.
St. Ambrose Institute of Health Sciences, Kagadi.
And in more news, Egypt has disagreed with the agenda of the Nile meeting and its outcomes. This was at the opening ceremony of the 31st Nile Basin Initiative Council of Ministers meeting in Munyonyo, where Uganda's Minister for Water and Environment, Sam Cheptoris, was voted the council's new chairperson. Details in this report.
Are unable to endorse the adaptation of this meeting's agenda and its outcome.
The Egyptian delegation has openly shared their dissatisfaction with the outcomes and declined to adapt to the NileCom meeting.
We believe it is unfortunate that over the years our organization, including this esteemed body, has not upheld the cooperative spirit and the cooperative principles which have originally been cornerstone of both the NBI Foundation and the launching of the negotiation process on the CFA.
They say that despite the importance of the agenda items, they are unable to endorse the adoption of the meeting's agenda and its outcomes.
This is due to the current departure from the principle of consensus in its true meaning and due to unbalanced nature of non-consensual CFA document as it stands.
Relatedly, the Council member states called for collaboration amongst themselves to deal with the current water-related challenges that the Nile is facing. This was at the 31st Nile Basin Initiative Council of Ministers meeting at Speak Resort, Munyonyo.
There will be some hydropower among 3 Nile Basin states of Burundi, Rwanda, and Tanzania, as already highlighted by my colleagues. These and others are a testimony of the benefits of cooperation of our states that allows for benefit sharing and a sustainable management of shared river Nile resources. Cooperation in the Nile Basin region would ensure that the development and utilization of these resources would be carried out in the optimal and sustainable manner.
We all recognize the importance of Nile in the socio-economic development and well-being of all populations in the basin. We also recognize that the Nile is a shared resource, and this calls for sustainable and cooperative management of this important resource.
It should be noted that the Nile Basin is home to approximately 257 million people and 487 live within the 11 riparian states. Mario Nawori and Annette Sana, UBC.
And in more news, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has urged youth in Africa to emulate the late president of Tanzania, Julius Nyerere, who contributed tremendously to the liberation of Africa and championed regional integration. His message was read by the former Prime Minister, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, during the Julius Nyerere symposium at Makerere University's celebrating of 24 years since his demise. Details in this report.
It is 24 years now since the demise of the former Tanzanian leader Julius Nyerere. Hundreds stand up for the commemoration of the great leader at Makerere University. The former Prime Minister Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda represented President Yoweri Museveni and urged the young generation to emulate Nyerere and put service above self.
I salute the contribution of Mwalimu Nyerere to the liberation of Africa, and I urge the young people to carry on his vision of a strong and united Africa. I thank you.
But I thought that it was important for us to meet on the actual day that Mwalimu Nyerere is celebrated in Tanzania, which is the 14th of October. And that is the day he passed away. But in a way, he also passed on a legacy and a mantle which we hope that the young people can take on.
The charged affairs at the Tanzania High Commissioner Luka Mayanga highlighted on the importance of Kiswahili language if Africa is to achieve a borderless region.
I would like to remind my fellow participants that during the struggle for African independence, Mwalimu used the Kiswahili as a language to unite Africans. Therefore, let us take this language as one of the strategy and a valuable treasure which can be used to develop and foster our economic, social and political integration.
Nyerere was a visionary leader and a true Pan-Africanist who had planned to delay the independence of Tanzania till the rest of the East African states attain independence.
Mwalimu was willing to delay the independence of Tanzania until Uganda was free and Kenya was free, so that we can actually celebrate our independences together, and on that particular day and moment we could actually form the East African Federation.
Free movement of people within the East African region remains a challenge, with most states treating students as foreigners while payment for work permit is still applicable to most countries.
It turns out that students from Burundi and other foreign nations studying in Kenya are still being asked to produce an alien document, an alien identification document, at a time when we're saying we are collapsing our borders. We definitely have a lot of policies on paper. We have a lot of frameworks on paper that I'm going to touch on a little in my conversation. But I think we need to realize that the implementation of these policies sometimes requires a lot of feedback from the people who are using these policies, the people who are using these frameworks, but also feedback in terms of thinking on how to improve the execution of this.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, has appealed to heads of schools and managers to allow candidates who have not fully paid the school's dues to sit for this year's final examinations and devise a means of claiming payments from such candidates at a later stage. Dr. Chris Baryomonsi has made these remarks while officiating over the launch of Kayungwe Nyekundire Group in Kanungu District.
The launch of Nyekundire Development Groups in Kanungu District by the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, is work still in pipeline. This time round, the residents of Kayungwe sub-county are the latest to witness this development. For the Minister, Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, this was his homecoming as he returned to the area where he spent most of his childhood.
My home village where I was born and raised, and here is at Kayungwe Primary School where I did my primary education. We've been doing mobilization in Kanungu through what we call Nyekundire groups, basically mobilizing for NRM, but we also use the opportunity to tell people about government programs, particularly the parish development model.
The Nyekundire launch is always an activity where locals showcase their cultural diversity through songs and dances. This highlights the achievements of the NRM government and leaders like Dr. Chris Baryomonsi and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
He has worked many things, has done many things, has made roads, he opened these groups of Nyekundire, part of movement mobilization department. We thank His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for giving him a post of a minister.
Students from different schools were among the entertainers of the day as they all hailed the NRM government for peace and development.
His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Honorable Dr. Chris Baryomonsi and the rest, you work borderlessly. NRM, NRM, NRM. Associations, orphanages, schools, churches are thankful for your support.
Our minister, our minister, our minister, your absence will cause our death.
Chris Baryomonsi, Honorable,
has made a great change in our school. He has supported us with computers, he has supported us with the projector.
And I would like to request him again to support us. As a starting school, we need computers because we have very few. We need a laboratory.
On his part, Minister Dr. Chris Baryomusi appealed to all school heads to allow school defaulters in the candidates classes to write their final exams starting on Monday.
Appeal to the parents to mobilize resources and make sure that all the students have paid the requirements in schools, not to miss exams, but also the head teachers to be a little bit flexible, because some of the students and pupils come from humble backgrounds. In any case, universal primary education and secondary education are expected to be free. So no head teacher should be stopping a child from sitting for exam.
Baryomusi rather advises schools to devise means of settling such matters on a later stage.
If they cannot raise all the fees or the requirements, let them have an arrangement where the children can sit for exams and then the parents can pay.
On Monday, 16th October 2023, senior 4 candidates across the country will start writing this year's final examinations. Robert Nyango, UBC News, Kanungu District.
Now, suspected Allied Democratic Forces on Thursday night raided Kasese again, shooting one person dead and setting a trailer ablaze along Mpondwe-Lubiriha border. The victim was traveling in the trailer with 3 others, one of whom was seriously injured and is currently admitted at Bwera General Hospital. This is the inside story on how ADF has been eluding the UPDF forces and inflicting terror attacks on the innocent civilians in Kasese, Bundibudio and Ntoroko district.
In June this year, Allied Democratic Forces ADF eluded UPDF forces and banned 41 students of Lubiria Senior Secondary School in Kasese district. This was the worst attack by ADF this year on innocent civilians since 1998 trauma attacks, where over 80 students were killed. Again, suspected ADF terrorists on Thursday night raided Kasese, shooting one person dead and setting a trailer ablaze.
So I would request that in collaboration with the local leadership, we intensify on security on the ground, so that every 2 kilometers at least there is a detach. So that time and again we keep on mopping.
One would ask how ADF rebels could continue to inflict terror on innocent civilians despite UPDF's efforts to stabilize the eastern part of DR Congo. This is the story about mountainous terrain and the geographical area of Rwenzori sub-region, which has been a beehive of ADF group for decades.
The rebel activities may be manifesting in some of these areas, but it's not as common as it is expected. However, there is also a problem of some criminals who disguise as rebels. They want to cause chaos, they want to rob, and that all turns out to be rebel activities. However, as the military, both joint FRDC and UPDF, we don't lay down, we don't overlook any information we get.
These areas between Kasese, Bundibujo and Ntoroko is overlooked by towering Rwenzori mountain, hills clinging to a side down into the Rift Valley in eastern DRC. This is one of the main area of activity in pockets of ADF attacks. The ADF has few links and collaborators within western Uganda, and its leaders come from areas in central with strong Islamic ties such as Iganga, Masaka and Kampala. The main reason why ADF adopted western Uganda as their center of operations are the mountainous terrain, the proximity to Congo, and ability to exploit an existing ethnic conflict in Rwenzori sub-region. These internal attacks meant ADF had coerced some local people to help them, especially those with extensive knowledge of the mountains.
People, because one of the intention was to come and look for medication, and they have one who has some wounds, so they are still using that stretch.
Kidogo sana, lakini nafikiri sasa imekuwa mzuri kuliko. So nataka mtusaidie, kama mnasikia mambo mnatuambia. Kama mnasikia mambo yanafanyika Kongo vile mnaambia sisi. Huko Kongo watu wamefurahi sana wanafurahi sana kusikia kwamba UPDF iko huko. Sasa nyinyi kama wana Uganda mnatakuwa mtusupport kuliko wale watu hata vile.
Since the initiation of Operation Suja, UPDF deployed troops along ADF spot areas, and it's not easy to penetrate the joint forward detachment, apart from the few porous border points. The ADF attack at Katojo Junction along Wera Kinyamaseke, Kasese Road in Kasese district is a few kilometers from the military detachment. This means the attackers should have been malingering around as civilians before executing their mission. The latest ADF attack on Ugandan territory is the 5th since December 2022 and raises questions about the effectiveness of the security intelligence and civilian vigilance.
We man the border points because the way we are now, our border is too porous. So we have so many illegal entry points. So the wrong element can just sneak in using one of the porous borders.
As the joint forces continue to pursue the splinter ADF rebels in North Kivu and Ituri provinces, the internal security organs should continue to locate the ADF internal local cells and sensitize the communities in Kasese, Bundibujo, and Ntoloko about the dangers of collaborating with terrorists. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge.
Wano nno tuli Bukoto era lero we tugenda okugaba pichi yaffe eri omwanguzi waffe wano we tuzze.
I'm so excited and I'm sure even all the people, all the staff at Kwaliwath are all excited. We thank you very, very much.
Myaka 25 nga MTN ewereza naye nga buli week tugaba pichi 5.
Very, very excited. I'm excited about MTN giving back to its customers. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, MTN. The fact that we have won really shows that people like Mama. Their services are really nice. MTN, your services are okay. The network is good. We are satisfied.
Chikola sense ne?
Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play. Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
Metu Bus Industries Namambe, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators and special purpose vans. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats or a special design that includes a restroom, power outlet, Wi-Fi, television and a refreshment center. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates back to ground. Sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, in partnership with Huawei, has organized the second annual National ICT Job Fair 2023, which will take place at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 17th and 18th of October 2023. The main objective is to address the unemployment gap among the youth in Uganda by providing a platform for them to interact with multiple employers, access job opportunities, internships, apprenticeships, and training programs in the ICT sector. The chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. All members of the public are invited.
Tubaniriza mu Jinja Central Market trade wano okubanga twedusa abantu okuwaayo kumbaga ya mwenemu nga bakozesa momope. Kati je mu Jinja Central Market sobola okubanga tuwayana abatyamye momope neri kwogeza abantu obwama.
Tamu ndalo. Otemu mukaga. Otemu itanga. Otemu sita. Onige isatu. Onige ash. Onige yes.
Aye nga tuwayo tikashi nga tuwayo nga tubita ku momope enkola ya MTN niga 70
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now, the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, David Bahati, has urged Bureau Veritas to work towards ensuring conformity to that are set by the criteria by the Uganda National Bureau of Standards products. Bahati was officiating the grand launching of Bureau Veritas' new offices in Kampala.
Bureau Veritas is among the 6 companies contracted by Uganda National Bureau of Standards to inspect and test products from their countries of origin and export before being imported into Uganda. This is being done under the pre-export verification of conformity to ensure substandard and harmful products are not imported into the country.
We are today opening this big office in Uganda to show the Ugandan business community and the government that we are ready to support the people in terms of ensuring quality of products, quality of services, quality of goods, and all the other imported items that are coming into the country and also that are locally done.
Uganda products are reportedly often shunned in favor of exported products by consumers due to alleged poor quality standards.
We want to congratulate you for opening these offices. We are talking about standards. Our NRM government has a policy of import substitution and export promotion. We would want to import, rather to replace all the imports we have in the country. The import substitution now stands at the import stand at 7 billion, while our export go to 5 billion. So there's that deficit. And one of the contributing factors why we are not exporting more, because sometimes people don't have confidence in our products.
The French ambassador to Uganda urging French companies to take advantage of the conducive business environment and invest in Uganda.
As Bureau Veritas, among many other French companies, are coming to Uganda, investing in Uganda, and expanding their business in Uganda. That's great recognition of the work already done so far by Ugandan companies. And it's also a fantastic opportunity for those companies who have not yet come to such processes.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
And that brings us to the end of the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. Do join us at 10 o'clock for a lengthier bulletin. Otherwise, up next is the weekly business roundup with Dennis Sigor. Stay tuned.
Metu Bus Industries Namambe, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators and special purpose vans. Metu